All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to another episode of We Create Music. I am your host, Vaughan, and today we have my man, sound designer and music composer, VERSATILETRAXE.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
What's happening, bro?
How you feeling, man?
Chilling, man.
Chilling, man. Glad to have you on the show.
For sure, man. Appreciate you having me, dog.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. So let's start at the very beginning. So how did you get into this whole music world?
Basically, I've always been into the music world since I was maybe about 2 years old. I've always been into like drums and choir. I was in church a lot, so it really started there. And then my father had a big music background that I kind of adapted from, and by the time I turned about 15 years old, I started getting into music production. Started using Reason. And how that started was, my brother, he was into music production, so he just introduced me to Reason, and I just fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since.
So wait, he didn't introduce you to FL?
Nah, my friends around me was on FL, and it just at that point I didn't like the sounds of FL. I think everybody that used to use FL back in the day, they remember how those sounds were. And, Reason was just a little bit more realistic and instruments.
Yeah, especially with the racks and just how it looked with the actual 14:9 mix in there, and it just looked weird. Now you're flipping around. That's a different story because that's very intimidating.
Yeah.
But on the front side, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So you're originally from St. Paul, right?
Yeah, St. Paul, Minnesota. I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas. Moved to St. Paul, Minnesota when I was young, and pretty much grew up there.
So how does the music scene in St. Paul kind of start to influence your ability to jump into the music producer world?
Pretty much my friends around me, they pretty much pushed me to, really go for it. They was, feeling the beats in the beginning, and I had a few homies that was, they was rapping, they was trying to rap in the beginning. So, it really just started from there, and I just started getting better at it, and they was really just like, man, you need to take it to a new level, and so. Yeah.
So you went from St. Paul, right? But then you went back to Little Rock.
Yeah, I went back to Little Rock to go to college, and I was there for 5 years, and
Philander Smith.
Yeah, Philander Smith College for sure.
That's right.
Shout out to my PSC family. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So what did you major in?
Business administration.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. I've always been in the business, and that pretty much started as a young boy. My grandfather, he owned a dry cleaners that pretty much grew up and worked in too. So that was really my first. That was really my first goal, was to just be in the business, and which it still is, but until the music came into play, so that kind of overshadowed the business. Even though it goes hand in hand.
Right. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, you definitely gotta have, and that's what I think most people get kind of, I don't want to say misconstrued, but they don't really consider that the music business, this is a business, right?
No
so
doubt.
There's a whole another side to it than just pressing back pads and, smashing keys.
No doubt.
There's a business side to it.
No doubt.
Yeah. So currently, how are you using what you've learned in college to help further what you're doing today?
To be honest, not really much. You know what I'm saying? Because it was most of the lessons that I got, with the business was just more of hands-on experience, versus what they, taught me in the classes. So, but there were a few topics that about entrepreneur. I took an entrepreneurship class, so that pretty much I used that in my in my business today, like with marketing and, just how to promote myself and, things like that. So,
yeah, those are essential key lessons that people really need to to kind of understand is that, I mean, as artists, as producers, we still need to market. We still need to brand, you know, so those skill sets that are taught in maybe through college or through books are still very, very important to use.
For sure.
And I think sometimes people don't really, they want to leave it up to other people to do, but you still are, I mean, as a producer, I'm still responsible for that.
Right.
For my own branding, for
That's
my own, you know, marketing and things like that. I may have another person overseeing it.
Right.
But I'm still the one that's ultimately responsible.
Right.
So I want to go back though, because I never knew that you were a singer.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. Like I was like, what? Yeah. That was what I was like. You know, when he get here, I'm gonna have to ask him that question because I did not know that at all.
Yeah, man.
But that's what's up, man. So, are you using that within your production?
Well, I'm not currently.
Okay.
You know, I want to get back into that. You know, I get told a lot that I need to. You know, but yeah, that's something that I look at. You know, in the future. You know, adding that to my production.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's rather than probably always relying on. I mean, you could be amazed at what you could sit at home and do.
Yeah, right.
By yourself. Like I heard, I was in the studio one day with Kenny Bartow, the Justice League.
Okay.
And I mean, it was all three of them there, but he was speaking about a song that they were working on or had worked on. And he sang one of the parts.
Okay.
And we all sat there and were like, wait a minute. He was like, yeah, I had to sing. He said, I couldn't find an artist to do it. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it get like that.
It get like that. So go ahead.
No, and then like you're saying, I mean, especially if you can do it, you know, it only makes sense because sometimes that's the missing element, you know. You know, so. Yeah,
my man Kenny Buttons up in New York. Shout out to Kenny Buttons and the whole New York.
Shout out
the Eat family up there. Like he put a whole vocal pack out.
Oh yeah.
Just of him singing.
Oh, that's dope.
Like opera type stuff. I'm like, yo, that's so dope. Crazy.
That's creative too, man.
That's super creative. And he put a whole kit out with just him doing his
Yeah.
Okay, don't get me to do it. I'm not y'all. Y'all know my background. You know, we're gonna edit that up. No, we're not. But he created a whole kit of just him with his vocals, right? Yeah. And I know that you're heavy into creating and designing your own kits and things like that. So what was your motivation behind creating your own sound packs and melody packs?
Pretty much, you know, when I make beats, like when I'm making melodies, I tend to make them really quick. And, you know, I started hearing about, you know, producers starting to put out sound packs. And, you know, I was like, you know, this is something I could do, you know, especially because it doesn't take me a long time to come up with a melody. You know, you're talking about, you know, 4-8 bars, you know. So, you know, I just decided to put out a pack one day, and, you know, it was real dope, and I got a lot of good feedback from it, and I kind of saw a market in it, you know, just with the amount of producers that I see, you know, coming up every day. And a lot of times producers are trying to, you know, they're more focused on the quantity of the beats, and, you know, it's real popular for producers these days to use loops and, you know, MIDI packs. And so really I just found a market for it, you know, and you know, I got a few producers under the team, and you know, they come up with packs, and, you know, we sell them out to the, you know, to the community. So,
beat pharmacists, right?
Yeah, beat pharmacists. Yeah,
that's right. Oh no, I do my research. Like, one thing y'all know watching the show, I do my research on every guest that come onto the show. But and plus, I mean, I've known Versatile for 2 years. So 2-3 years. Yeah. I mean, so I kind of knew when he was getting started with the whole melody, the melody packs. That we had talked about that.
Yeah.
But I think that is a very lucrative space to be in. But I also feel that a lot of producers are trying to do it too.
That's right.
So do you feel that this space where people are creating these loop packs and melody packs, that it is oversaturated?
Yeah, right. But, you know, the part that's oversaturated is just the fact that, you know, you got a lot of producers creating these kits, but, you know, Where I fit in is, the platform, for producers to be able to host their kits and be able to, sell their kits. You're still gonna have a lot of producers, doing it solo and kind of self promoting it on,
Right.
But I feel like by creating a platform, with my social presence, I'm able to, get a lot of exposure to these producers, and it's just, it's cool. I'm working on the next, the next big thing. You always gotta stay ahead of the game because a lot of platforms are starting to come up now. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
We always trying to grow, man.
Yeah, and I was telling another producer earlier. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using melodies and loop packs.
Yeah,
right? And your favorite producer, trust me, is using a melody or a loop pack.
Yeah.
Like you have no, like I've heard. Now I got a whole bunch of loop packs and melody kits and things like that because they spark amazing ideas.
Exactly.
But your favorite producer, trust me, is using like Rihanna's birthday cake.
Yeah.
That actually came from a loop pack.
Yeah.
I heard it. I was like, yo, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. I mean, some of your favorite songs that you listen to today have come from a loop pack, but it's really just the modern day thing, like if you look at back in the day with some of your top producers, like Timberland, Dr. Dre, they would bring in other producers that would make melodies for them, so it was, it to me, it's really the same thing.
The same thing.
You know what I'm saying? It's just now we have more opportunity to like to get loop packs from people from all over the world, man, and just within a second, so I mean, it's I don't really, I mean, I don't look down on it because I mean I use loop packs myself, and like you said, it just sparks, it can spark up ideas because I mean producers always have like kind of like writer's block, so you throw in a few loops and that might just spark a brand new idea and maybe listen to your next hit, just off of a loop that you that you was inspired.
Now, I heard a producer say, I don't know if I really should say his name or not, but I guess to me it really don't matter. If you say something that's out in the general public, I'm going to say who said it, but whatever. So Sonny Digital, I was at a event. Sonny Digital was there, and he was talking about using loop packs, and Youngland was there also.
Okay.
And he talked about using a loop on something that he had created. And Sonny Digital made a comment, and I'm gonna get your perspective on it. He said, if you use loops, you're not a real producer. Not if you just use, if you rely on loops, you're not a real producer. He said, because I know how to play stuff. I know how to play the keys and other stuff. I can come up with my own. But if you are relying on loops, you're not a real producer. What do you say to that? How you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like it's his perspective. For me, I can play keys as well. I can't read, but I can play keys. So I do look at myself, I guess I don't want to say real producer because I mean I feel like if you can just create something from scratch and make it real dope, no matter how you did it, whether you're piecing things together, you're a producer, you're a creator, but having those talents, it does make you, I don't know, I feel like I feel like I am a better producer because I can play keys, I can play by ear and, just having those different, that's a plus for me, but it doesn't mean that you have to be able to do those things to make you a real producer. I mean, I don't believe that. I look at the end result. How does it sound in the end? That's pretty much how I judge it off.
There's a lot of producers who can't play keys.
No.
I mean, they may know what they want.
Yeah.
By pressing, this is how I want it to sound, but they may not know how to sit there and play keys. But they know what they're looking for. They may not be able to play drums, but they can program drums on, the machine or on the Kong,
Right.
So does that discount them from being a quote unquote real producer?
Nah, not to me. I mean, not to me.
Not to me either. I just thought I'd get an interesting.
I mean, it's I can see where other producers will have those opinions, you know, I get it, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what the end result is.
That's
How
right.
does it sound? So,
yeah. Because like in Reason, we got the scales and chords.
Right.
I mean, is that cheating because I don't really know how to play chords?
I mean,
and I can just press one button and I can get a C major.
I love it, man.
I love it. I love scales and chords. Reason, thank you, Propellerhead.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much for making that. It was,
for sure.
I love it. But is it cheating because I can press one button and kind of get the chords that I want?
That's crazy to me. But hey, it's all about perspective.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you who doesn't care.
Who is it?
The consumer.
Of course.
The consumer doesn't care that you don't know how to play. As long as it sounds good and they can jam to it.
That's right.
And it makes them feel a certain way. They are good with the end result.
That's right, man. I think that's just a little thing within the producer
I think it's within
community.
with our own.
It's cool.
Own.
You know, hey, I get it. It's a conversation.
That's right. So I do want to ask another question as someone who creates melody packs and loop packs and things like that. So in the beginning, when people were creating loop packs and things, royalty free.
Right.
Royalty free, you can use it.
Right.
Then I started seeing this thing that said master clearance available.
Yeah.
Like, So now we have creators who are creating loop packs who are saying, okay, I created these melodies. If you want to use them on, now in the fine writing, it says if you're getting a major record deal. Right. But if you're using it for, your own solo projects, working with indie artists, things, then you don't have to go get master clearance. But it's only when you have a major artist that you're shopping it to.
Right.
That they want master clearance. And so pretty much what folks who are creating loop packs, and I'd like to get your perspective on it, is they want a part of the publishing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with it. I mean, it's genius. I mean, if you can get the publishing, I mean, seeing that you are part creator, it only makes sense. And I feel like it's more than generous for them to, allow you to, sell it. Like, you can sell the beats on BeatStars, but when you're talking about getting it placed on a major label, now really it just depends on what the producer has in his contract. Because I mean, I've seen some that they'll allow you to just do whatever you want to do. Some of them want the credit. Most of them really want the credit. But I feel like that's smart. And it's also a good way to spread your music out a lot faster. Because if you're selling a pack and you got all these different producers and you never know what type of situations they got going on, they may place that thing. You definitely want to be in there. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
I respect it, man. And I also respect those that don't. But
yeah.
I think it's smart, man.
Yeah, because I know some folks go, oh, now you want to get a master clearance when they used to be royalty free and you made all these royalty free. Now you want a part of the publishing because you only made, and I'm serious, it's like a whole conversation that exists out in this world around this whole using loops and melody packs.
Yeah.
And people are serious about it.
Yeah.
I mean, because they are sitting down, taking their time and creating these melodies.
Right.
They should be compensated for it. But people say, well, you were compensated. I paid you the $49.99 that you wanted for your pack.
Yeah, but a lot of times it's not even that much. But I mean, it just depends on what they want to do. I mean, me personally, I'm with it, and I would respect it if I use the producer's loop. Then I would respect that. Now, would I be promoting him like that? It just depends. On what we agree on, or what the contract is, and But yeah, man. I mean, hey, how can somebody create something and not be compensated for what they created, especially?
When you think about it, so I'll give you like the example you used earlier.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Dre split his publishing with the person who came in to do the melodies on the keys?
I mean, who knows?
That's the thing. Who knows?
That's a conversation.
Who truly knows? Let me ask Dr. Dre. We call him up and find out.
But I mean, I can see. I've heard of producers, bringing in, different musicians and doing like a work for hire type of thing.
Right.
So it really just depends on what the agreement is. And, I mean, me personally, it's a tough thing. Like,
yeah,
it's tough, especially somebody hiring me to come in and, you know, play some. Kind of got to look at it like that. How would you feel if, you know, Dr. Dre came in and was like, okay, I'm just gonna give you like 5,000 or 10,000 just to play this. You don't know how big that record is gonna get, man. That record may make millions of dollars, you know. But
hey, I know, right? What can you do? What can you do about it sometimes in those types of situations?
Yeah, man. Hey.
That's right. I did want to talk about your first placement.
Yeah.
And so, what was that like? How did that feel? And I mean, I know who it was with, but y'all don't know. But if you can just talk about that. Who was your first placement with, your major placement? How did that feel and how did that come about?
So, I would say my first major placement would be Gucci Mane. But my first placement was K-Camp. This is right before he, you know, took off with his, you know, first hot single. Right. But so I would say my first major placement, it was Gucci Mane. And what was you saying? What did it feel like?
Yeah. How did you get that first placement?
How did it happen? Pretty much, I was sending out. I had a huge email list that I was sending out beats to different artists. You know, I would get connected with a couple A&Rs, and they would send me like these lists of emails, and you know, I would just consistently send beats every day. And this was the beat that I got placed with Gucci Mane. This was like a beat that I made like maybe about 5-6 years before, you know, he actually got on it or whatever. So that was weird itself. I was like, man, it was crazy. But so I was just on Facebook one time, and you know, I used to promote heavy on Facebook, and one of my fans had wrote a comment on one of my posts, and they was like Gucci Mane got on your or they was like congratulations on, you know, Gucci Mane placement, and I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Gucci Mane. I was like, so I asked him what the song was, and I did my research. I checked it out, and sure enough, I hear my beat. And, you know, the second that it came on, I was like, this can't be real. So I just kept listening to it, and I was just like, damn, man, how did this happen? I was just hyped, man. I was like, damn. So then I start trying to think about who got him that beat, because you know, a lot of times when you get these emails, it's not directly to the artist. It's to, you know, different A&Rs or, you know, just some of their people or their camp or whatever. So, so I just started going crazy, man. I started hitting up everybody. I started hitting up all of my people, letting them know, check out this song that I did, that I produced for Gucci Mane. And at that time, he was actually locked up. He was doing some prison time. But if everybody remembers, you know, he was putting out a whole bunch of music. So you know, a lot of projects. You know, so yeah, that happened around that time, man. And I was just, man, I was hyped, man, because Gucci Mane is he was one of my favorite artists. You know? When I first started making trap beats, trap music, Gucci Mane was one of my biggest influences.
Wow.
So that was crazy, man. I felt accomplished.
Yeah.
And they just gave me a lot of motivation.
Oh, heck yeah. That's like a full circle. Like, yo, I mean, imagine growing up listening to somebody that is heavily influences you, and then later on you produce a track for that person. Yeah. I used to use his acapellas, man. I used to a lot of times when I would make beats, I had this like virtual DJ software, and I would use I would download his acapellas. I had like 2 acapellas, and I would use them same acapellas, and I would throw them on top of the beats. Oh yeah,
I would slow it down.
I do the same thing.
It up. It just so it was just crazy.
Yeah, I made a whole beat using the Usher and Migos. I Still Got It.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I just use a certain part of it.
Yeah.
And that helped me to really consider, how would an artist sound on this beat if I was to get a artist on this beat.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, and it helped me really kind of formulate and place things based upon that vocal.
Yeah.
You know, so that's still ingenious. I mean, I don't know if people do that today, but if you're not,
you should try it. You should try it, man. It really, it'll give you a vibe, and it'll let you know, like, you know, how to structure the beat as well. You know, it's a good little cheat sheet.
It's a good cheat code, y'all. Yeah, there's a lot of cheat codes that people need to really get into. I mean, and these things are known, right? I mean, you can download vocals straight from YouTube. What's really crazy is that you can download vocals straight from YouTube and make a whole beat around all those vocals and release it. It's like your own free project or remix too. Yeah. I mean, there's different avenues that people need to consider.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Yep. So let's talk about some of the other placements, opportunities that you've had. So if you want to share some light on some of those, just to give people a sense of the caliber of artists that you've been working with.
Yeah, so my second major placement was Project Pat. So
Project Pat, yes.
Yeah, man. Which was another legend that I grew up off of.
Oh,
man. When I first started listening to Southern music, that's when we called it Dirty South music. You know, it was 3 6 Mafia. So Project Pat was definitely a big one for me. You know, it was off of his project Trappers and Clappers, and the song was called I Can Hustle. But pretty much that was just networking with him over the internet, you know, over Instagram. You know, I was hitting him up for, you know, I'll say about 2 years, you know, just hitting him up every so often. And, you know, eventually he gave up the email and, you know, I consistently sent him some beats, and really it didn't take too long for him to reach back to me. So him and his manager back then, Big Trill, FaceTimed me and was like, hey man, we got one. And that was a moment in itself. I was, you know, actually I was, no, I wasn't in Atlanta. Okay. I wasn't back home. I was in Atlanta. So that's when I found out, FaceTime me. And yeah, man, that was big. That was big.
That's Project Pat.
Yeah, Project Pat, man. A legendary.
Legend.
Legendary.
Yes, sir. Man. Project Pat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you started to get all these major placements.
Yeah.
Right? And so I know sometimes people can ride the high of all these major placements. So what did you experience after getting those major placements? What type of challenges and or sacrifices did you have to go through after those things came about?
Well, pretty much challenges really wasn't too much challenge. It was more motivation, and it kind of just set the bar up, you know, a little bit more. But what happened in you know, during those placements and stuff, I started getting a lot of producers, you know, hitting me up to, you know, work and, you know, collab. I was able to get into, you know, a couple producer events, you know, like A3C, I Standard. You know, I did something with Producer Grind, to where I did a cook-up video with them. So, and then I did some other podcasts, and, you know, I started getting a lot of people, you know, just hitting me up, which was good. It was good momentum, and you know.
And the crazy part is that you were still there, still doing the same things you were doing before you got the placements. Right. And it's just so weird to me. I mean, I understand that once a person gets notoriety, now everybody wants to, and I get it. Yeah. But you were there still doing the same things you were before. You said the Gucci Man beat was 5 years prior.
Yep.
Right? You'd be surprised. I mean, I know you already know this, and I know some folks who are watching already know that a lot of beats that get placed are beats that were made 2, 3, 5 years ago.
Yep. And I mean, the beat was unmixed, like, you know, outdated drums and everything, but it was just like they used it. So,
yeah, and they were like, yo, this is dope. This is dope. I was talking earlier about the subjectivity of music. What you may think is trash, somebody may think is dope. What you may think is dope, somebody else may think is trash. You know, it's just so subjective when it comes to it.
Right.
So if you made a beat 5 years ago and the artist goes, that's the one I want.
Right.
They will pick that. And that's the one that becomes their biggest, probably could be their biggest hit.
Right.
You never
and sometimes
know.
It's hard too, man, because you be like, oh, man, that's an old beat, and you kind of want artists to want like your newer beats, more newer beats, but that's not really what they. You know, a lot of times your sound as a producer, you can be ahead And I feel like I'm one of those type of producers where my sound is kind of ahead of its time, you know, so the beats that I'm making right now in 2020 may not, you know, stick until, you know, 2025 or something like that. So I may have to go back to my 2015 beats or something.
Yeah, never delete beats, old beats, never delete old ideas, because you never know.
Never do that, man. And it's always good to have fresh ears around you too, because especially if you're not real good at, you know, choosing beats, you know, sometimes you can be biased as a producer, you know, but it's good to have different ears around. That way they can be like, nah, I like that one. And,
that's right. So. Yeah, I was planning to be earlier for the actual prior guest, KT, and I was like, look, because we were talking about just living outside the box, and not being confined to just one style or one methodology when making beats, and living outside of this box. So I played him a song that I have. Yeah. And as he listened to it, I said, I love this song, but would this be a track that's on somebody's album today? Probably not. And he heard it, and he was like, he said, yo, I'm going to tell you, if Chance the Rapper heard this, he may take this because he could put his flow in here and it become a huge hit. But that goes back once again to the subjectivity of music. I may think it's something that people will never get on, but somebody may hear it and go, that's about to be the next big thing. So talk about how you came up with the Beat Pharmacist.
Beat Pharmacist started with myself, a couple of my friends back home in Minnesota, my cousin. Pretty much we got together and we was pushing my production as VERSATILETRAXE, and you know, we wanted to come up with, you know, something that can, you know, bring us all together, you know, a name that everybody can kind of look at us as one, you know. And Beat Pharmacist, every beat is a drug, that's the slogan of it. And you know, pretty much we felt like we had every sound, everything that any artist would ever need, you know, whether they need, you know, pop music, whether they need R&B, rap, just we felt like, you know, that would make us stand out. And yeah, man, we created that, and that was a pretty dope movement back home in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I still got it going now.
That's what's up. And was the first pack you released the Codeine?
Codeine Crazy,
yeah, that was the first one. Yeah,
yep, that was the first pack that I.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, if you don't have it, man,
you gotta check it out.
You gotta go get it. Yep, no doubt. Yeah. So, what's next for you?
What's next? Well, like I said before, man, I've been hitting the producer kits, sound design scene pretty hard, man, and you know, I kind of took a little step back away from the, you know, producing the music. And you know, 2020, I told myself that, you know, I'm getting back into that mode, and you know, getting back to connecting with some of these newer artists, you know, looking to break some new artists, and you know, you know, really just collaborating with, you know, various people, just on, you know, different projects, man. But yeah, man, looking to hit the production scene real tough, man. I feel like it's, you know, it was a good moment for me to, you know, kind of step back and, you know, go through life and, you know, figure out certain things. And, you know, now it's time to, you know, really just get back into it, man. And, you know.
Yeah, you recently released Savage Life.
Right.
When
I didn't recently.
When did that drop?
I dropped that about 3-4 months ago. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So that was pretty much a collection of my older beats. You know, I put together an instrumental pack and you know, dropped it off on Spotify, Apple Music, all of the streaming platforms. It's called Savage Life, Volume 1. I got Volume 2 coming out real soon.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Oh yeah. You know, you find more producers who are creating their own CDs, albums, mixtapes now versus, you know, saying, hey, I don't really know if I want to wait for an artist.
Right.
Cool. If artists want to come, great. If not, I still got a project that I want to drop, and it just happens to be an instrumental album. Right.
I'm
starting to see more and more producers do that.
I mean, it's a good opportunity to, you know, add some more revenue. You know, just you know, another stream of revenue, and you know, That's always good.
Yeah.
Because you can do it all. You know, you can do all of it.
You can do all of it.
I mean, you got thousands of beats sitting on your computer that's
not
generating any money, and it's like, hey, why not make a few dollars off of it?
That's right.
You still own your rights.
I mean, how many albums I could drop?
Yeah, I know, man. And it be hard sometimes for producers, you know, release it to the world. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
because I'm super critical.
Yeah,
and it's like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm super critical.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I mean, it's important though to throw it out there. You know, it's like, hey, I got beats that been sitting on my computer for a long time, man. So yeah, y'all look out for some new instrumental albums coming out, man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you have to anyone deciding to join this whole music industry? What would you tell them?
Man, I would say, I don't want to sound cliche, man. Be yourself. That's. I
mean, shoot, that takes you a long way, though.
Really follow your own mind. You know, be open to hear others' opinions, but at the end of the day, you know, follow what best fits you, because nobody can, nobody can work your plan the way you can. So, and you can't always follow others' footsteps, because what they did may not work for you. And just keep going, really, you know. Don't expect a clear path, you know. Have lots of passion for what you love. That way, you know, you can get through whatever, you know, comes your way, you know, because it is going to come. And it's not easy at all, you know. There's very few producers that, you know, make it overnight success. And even those that have, you know, they had to go through something. And yeah, just be patient and enjoy it. Just, you know, have fun with it. Don't expect a huge payout in the beginning, you know.
That's perfect advice. Yeah. Perfect advice.
For sure.
So talk about where people can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, VERSATILETRAXE, VERSATILETRAXX. Pretty sure you put it under the video. Also, my beat pharmacist at TEPKITZ with a Z at the end. Yeah, man. Twitter, same thing. Yeah, that's where you can find me, man.
That's what's up, y'all.
Website, my beats, my sound kit store. It's thebeatpharmacist.com. Check that out. Go purchase a kit. We also got free kits on there as well, so you know, check those out and you know, just spread the love, man.
Yeah. Get the codeine one is.
Yeah, codeine crazy.
It's bananas.
Yeah, man. That's definitely bananas.
It is.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, man, no doubt. Yeah. I appreciate you being on the show, brother.
Oh yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, man.
I ain't seen you in a minute, so
I know, man.
Like, man.
It has, man.
Life is.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. It's a good dude, man. Brian, we linked up at A3C, man, and just been keeping in touch ever since, man. It's been dope, man. I appreciate this opportunity.
I appreciate you as well, brother.
For sure, man. For sure.
That's right. Appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's a wrap for us. Once again, you can always check us out every Thursday at 7 p.m. at www.wecreatemusic.tv. Once again, we got my man VERSATILETRAXE. Really appreciate y'all. Have a great night, because that's when you're probably going to be watching this, or a day, whatever. Just have a great whatever. All right, peace.